Hey guys, it's Tilhan here. I want to ask you a question. Have you had an injury that just hasn't healed, or it's just taking a really long time to get better? Or it could be like a recurrent injury, so an injury that just happens all the time, like every year or every few months when you're playing an activity or sport. If you have, then one of the reasons that this could be happening is due to a buildup of scar tissue, or otherwise known as adhesions. And what we know is that when a muscle gets damaged or it's injured, the body replaces this with scar tissue. And scar tissue is like replacement tissue, and it doesn't have the same makeup as the normal tissue. So for example, if your muscle fibers are running in this direction, when scar tissue is laid down, it's usually laid down in a crisscross kind of fashion, much like this. And what that does is that can place a lot of limitations in terms of the muscle overall function. With scar tissue, it's not as flexible, it's not as strong, it's not as mobile as the normal muscle tissue. And so what can happen as a result of that is that it can put a lot of stress on the muscle itself. It makes it harder for the muscle to accept the loads that it once previously accepted, and it may not just have that same capacity or ability to generate as much power as we want as well. The muscle can become a bit shorter, it can become more inflexible, and it can also place a stress or strain on other structures such as the tendons or the nerves. And so this is important because when you're recovering from an injury, obviously we want to try and reach a peak performance or our maximal performance. But if we're limited by these restrictions of scar tissue or adhesions, that is going to slow this whole process down. So what you need to do is make sure that these intricate areas that may have these restrictions are assessed properly. They're specifically identified and located and treated, because as physiotherapists, we can treat these areas with special techniques, soft tissue techniques, which can help to break down that scar tissue and release that scar tissue. And that will enable the muscle to then function at its best. We can complement that with specific exercises and flexibility type movements to enable the optimal function of those injured muscles. And so combine all those things together, you're going to get a better outcome. But what happens in a lot of cases is that rehab is stopped and the proper treatment isn't taken, which can then lead to poor performance or poor outcomes. And so as physios, what we want for you is the best outcome. This is a component of your understanding of the injury that you should be taking note of. And if you have any doubts about your injury, or if you feel like this is something that's happening to you, or you may be at risk of, then it's worthwhile you getting it checked up or assessed. So I hope that gives you a little bit more insight into your injury if you do have one. If you have any questions or comments, just place them or write them in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you on that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll keep you posted with more videos. Bye for now.